Hola Madridistas, welcome back to another episode of Let's Be Real podcast. Las Palmas away, never an easy place to go. Gran Canaria is usually, will always come with the drama, within its package. And today didn't disappoint. But as a fan, I was seething. Jacob knows, how I was, screaming in the group chat. I wasn't happy with how we set up, how we played, how the first half kind of, drifted us by, and even in the beginning of the second half, how we completely lost our heads, leading up to, Las Palmas goal, and we'll get into it. Big up every single one of you in the chat. Big up my co-host Jacob as well. Big up our partners Manscaped as well. If you haven't heard about it already, we are tied into a partnership with Manscaped. The link is in the description below. The use of the code LBR20. I repeat LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping on a whole plethora of products. I would like to reiterate, Valentine's Day is coming. People's anniversaries might be coming up, birthdays might be coming up. This is, I think, a perfect excuse to show some love to what we do and also support our partners. Um, using this code and buying someone something for your loved ones. Guy or girl. Um, Again, like I would like to also point out that when you took a kind of a on the surface look at their website, most of the items would be a bit sadly overpriced, but I promise you there are stuff that is kind of under $100, under $50. Stuff like loungewear, deodorants, etc. So yeah, man. Any show of love would be much appreciated. And yeah, again, like a Manscaped man pioneers in below the waist grooming. And yeah, let's get into it. Talking about the game, like I was telling in the chat, Jacob, I didn't really like how our players whether it be fatigue, whether it be just the sunlight hitting the wrong way. We just didn't look up to pace. We did create a few chances, especially in the opening 5 minutes. The brilliant through ball by Danny Ceballos. Rodriguez should have finished it.
Absolutely, man. It was kind of a snooze fest. Like you could see it from the off go. The team
Mhm.
from the finishing, from all of the moves, I could see that they kind of took it casually. They were expecting
Mhm.
that things would go easy and then they would somehow find a goal. And I guess it takes a moment of adversity to wake this team up, and we just like to live dangerously as a team.
That's something that I don't really want to happen because I know that's just the basic MO of a Carlo Ancelotti side. Like they don't wake up until they go behind. Um, Used to be the case with Zidane, but maybe it's something to do with our DNA. But making such games, especially a game away at Las Palmas, bit of a scrap is unnecessary because it increases the likelihood of injuries. Likelihood of players getting more fatigued. We thankfully have Copa del Rey out of the way. Um, but still, man, like we should be taking care of business early on and trying to stamp an authority to the proceedings. But um, yeah, what are your initial thoughts, Jacob? Like, were you happy with the first half? Like, did you like how things were panning out?
The most interesting thing in the first hour was the commentary. I don't know, it was just atrocious to me. I feel like the Premier
Mm,
League has much better commentary. And these guys were just shooting the shit, saying just the most random things. In terms of the game itself, I knew from this lineup that we would kind of struggle to keep control of the game, especially this Las Palmas side, who depends so much on their back line to actually maintain clean sheets. So they're the team in the league with the second highest clean sheets after us. They've conceded, I think, just 3 goals lesser than us. So
Mm,
it was always going to be a higher struggle, and it was going to take some really clinical finishing to get past YS as well, the most informed keeper in La Liga. And I just hope, I just wished Rodrigo and co, they got a bit of the sharpness before we actually went on to the heavies in February. But looks like that's not going
mm.
to be the case. We're going to have to find our form as we go.
Talking about Vias, man, like I couldn't understand why Vinicius was trying to, chip the man. The man's like what, 6'4", right?
I
And
mean,
and and, and mm,
the second chance, I kind of understand the ball was like pretty high up and the defender was onto him. So I felt like there was no
there
other
was a
route.
chance before that.
Oh yeah, the chance before that, that is just Vinny doing Vinny things,
Typical
man.
Vinny finishing, yeah.
Yeah.
We thought that he had, crossed the divide and basically have completely refined his finishing, but I still see signs of pre 2022 Vinicius. Um,
But immediately, like, there was
yeah,
a moment like that, a couple of moments like that where his finishing was non point, but then immediately after that, he somehow finds a way to score. That was an amazing finish, too, by the way.
yeah, 100%. The control, the pass as well by Kamavinga. Um, I was always keen on us basically trying to exploit people, um, making it difficult for us, especially us playing pseudo strikers who are just wingers playing up top for us. I always did have the notion that dinks into the box, whether it be from the edge of the box or from right outside the box, would be pretty lethal because they'll be expecting ball to feed or spraying it out wide, and dinks into the box really sends alarm bells ringing among opposition defenses. That used to be the case even growing up playing narrow formations on FIFA. The cam or someone in the hole spraying little lofted balls into the attacking third would cause some sort of havoc. And we have seen lot many occasions where Rodrigo, even before Kamavinga did that, actually attempted that and it almost came off. Um, Rodrigo is pretty good at basically executing that pass. I've seen that all throughout the season as well. But Kamavinga, man, brilliant ball and yeah, neat finish. Like I wouldn't write home honestly anything about Vinicius' performance. Yes, he turned the game for us in our favor, but Jacob, like would you slate me for thinking that I expect so much more from Vinny? Yes, he's not a winger, right? Yes, I mean, yes, he's not a striker. He's a winger playing in a formation that favors someone with the instincts of a striker. But his general play is just. I'm not so sure, man. Like even with Rodrigo, I'm not gonna lie. Like this might seem like an agenda where I don't criticize Rodrigo much, but I would like to shine the spotlight on Vini again, where he was the difference, yes, but some of his decision making and some of his general thought process. Like there was an instance, I think it was after we tied. He tried a like audacious back heel for no reason. While Rodrigo and Fede is like, what are you doing, man? Do you remember that in the second half
Yeah,
towards
yeah.
the right side of their box?
I mean, those
Yeah,
moments
like
are far
in
and few in
general.
between,
Mm,
but in general play, like
mm,
you're right. It was not just about Vinny performing bad as a striker. It's not just that he had a bad day in front of goal. His general play as a winger, even he all of his cut-ins into the box, the uh, like everything did not come off, especially in the first half. He did have a
mm,
couple of nice crosses, dangerous balls in. But his dribbling was really lacking today. I think the dribbling was lacking like from the whole team. Even Rodrigo gave the ball away when we expect him to actually beat his man. Carvajal gave the ball away
yeah,
so many times. Kamavinga was the only one who was kind of press resistant. Uh, Man, it's just that there are games like these, and we shouldn't take too much into this. I think,
yeah, yeah.
especially considering that Las Palmas are a team who have beaten Atletico this season, who probably should have won
Mm,
against Barca this season as well. They're
yeah.
a really good team defensively, and we will have games like this. It's just that hopefully, uh, it doesn't turn out to be a similar game when it really matters. in February.
Over here on our podcast, Jacob, like, when we have a good game and when I am in the spirit and Farooq comes over here and be like, really, were you happy with that performance where we scrapped a lucky win, against the run of play? Like, I would be like, yeah, man, I'm super happy. Even if we didn't play like, prime, yeah, like prime fucking Barcelona, we we did the job, right? Like, and we kind of made it pleasing on the eye. But tonight, I can't like the past four weeks, I've been like this, right, Jacob? Like, there's a reason for it, because even the performances, I'm not a purist, but even for me, like, it's hard to watch. Not gonna lie, it's hard to watch. It's
Come
it's
on,
it's
man.
laborious.
I feel
It's
like
it's pondering.
it's just the Almeria game and this game where we looked really sluggish. One part is maybe motivation, uh, maybe the other part is fatigue. Maybe we were missing
Mm,
Jude Bellingham. We have a lot of excuses, right? I think it's just the last two games. Before that, I think we had started to play our best football this season because Jude was really taking. He had really found his position. Rodrigo and Vinny, they were kind of looking sharper in the striker position from maybe a month ago. Brahim was really on
yeah,
form. So I feel like it's just the last two games, and it's a recency bias, which makes us think that the team as a whole is going to shit.
yeah. I'm just
Maybe,
talking about now, like,
yeah.
like post Supercopa,
Post Super
right?
Cup, yeah.
Like post
Mhm.
Supercopa. Yeah, we haven't really looked convincing at all. Like, the reason why this makes me kind of icky is the Champions League being on the horizon, like less than what, 2 weeks away, right? Like, we go away to Leipzig on the 13th. So, man, like, we should really be starting to up our gears. I know we have the January plague has always been one of our Achilles heels, for the longest time I can remember. But we should really get back to having some sort of a ruthlessness to
I don't know what
whatever
to
we
tell
do.
you. Like,
Mm,
I think it's going to
mm.
be a very similar game, and it's against Getafe as well. I think it's going to take
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's going to take Atletico to wake us up.
100%. And Hetafe away is never going to be easy as well. They'll be licking their lips watching us, thinking that, yeah, there's a real chance we can probably do something at home. um But yeah, let me get into a few of the comments before we move further. Ashik was mentioning these boys are gonna make me an alcoholic with their Montaras. Big up Ashik, man. Madrid TV was mentioning we need to improve our game, not at our best, but most important 3 points. We move 100%. Yeah, that's the only thing I can take away from this game. We take 3 points and we go home. Big up Carlo though. He kind of changed up the shape. He was pretty um immediate in the substitutions, and he didn't wait for feeling uh testing waters out, how the game is going to pan out for another 10 or 15 minutes more. He was very proactive. So yeah, big up Carlo. 100%. She was mentioning we should be showing intensity and urgency from the first whistle, not after going down a goal. There'll be teams that know how to manage the clock after leading. 100%. Las Palmas just ran out of steam, and we just looked the fresher. We had, much more options with the bench, which kind of, enabled us to, take the game to them. And they looked clueless. That's what helped us. As she was also mentioning, Looney made some critical saves today and read the cross as well. There is absolutely no question who should be starting. Yeah. Lunin, man, Jacob, that save from who was it? Was it from Sandro Ramirez? Near post save.
No, that was
Was it
Munir.
Munir?
Yeah,
Munir. Yeah, that save. It's pretty difficult, especially for a keeper of his stature. Near post,
and he
low
actually
driven.
held on to it.
Yeah, yeah. But he looked pretty decent. Like, apart from maybe one instance where he kind of passed the ball out into touch, which I didn't expect. It was kind of I think the first 15 minutes of the game. Um,
Hold on.
yeah. Apart from that,
Do you actually
he
hear
was
me
solid.
well? I feel like my internet's gone haywire.
No, I can hear you, man. What's going on?
Hold on, take a pause. I'll reload my page and see what happens.
You're
Yep.
back, right, Jacob?
Yep. Yep. I am back.
Okay, right, right. I was thinking, should I have to end the fucking stream? But well, thank fuck for that. It didn't have to go, that way. Um, yeah. So I was actually, telling the chat about Lunan being, super tidy. Um, like I would like to, always remind, people that wouldn't um wouldn't be aware that, like I'm personally someone, leading up to lineup reveal for a particular match day, I don't want to have the lingering thought in my mind, oh, who's going to be the keeper today, right? Like, I just
That's
don't
what
like
Carlo
that
wants you
feeling.
to do.
Yeah, maybe he maybe get some joy out of it, but Carlo has been pretty transparent in who's going to start way ahead of a game, but still, man, like week to week, it shouldn't be chopping and changing. Um, yeah, who else should we cast an eye on next? I mean, let's talk about my man of the match. In my humble opinion, Kamavinga was absolutely magnificent. From the get go, whether it be cleaning up, whether it be stringing up, the front line and the midfield. He basically had to do the work of 2-3 men because Danny Ceballos, you know, I won't even talk about him much, well, because I really don't have the energy to. Um, I really don't like what he did for the maybe pen, where he basically tries to nick the ball off him. I think he stamped the foot, right? Like he caught the foot of the guy who was
He didn't, man.
trying to latch onto the ball.
So
Hmm?
he stopped his running, but I feel like he should have been way more decisive. Either he should have completely gone for clearing the ball, or he should have just stayed away from the man and started jockeying the man. Otherwise he's just looking for
Yeah,
trouble. He was caught
yeah.
in the midway point in no man's land and trying to do God knows what. Luckily, the referee didn't blindly give it. I don't think it was a penalty, but I think he was just playing with fire at that point.
I don't know, man. Like I watching it in real time and then seeing some of the VAR, clips. It seems like he caught a portion of his foot, but yeah, we got away with it either way. Yeah, stuff like that really makes me wonder, like, why can't Arda Güler start? Like that's what I was asking, even the group chat. Like he would have provided an instant spark, but I guess Carlo reserved him maybe for some impetus from the bench. But yeah, Kamavinga for me was insane. His line breaking runs, his passing range, his combativeness was on full display, man. Thoughts on Kamavinga, Jacob, quickly?
Yeah, I think he was really good on both sides of the pitch. He got the assist as well for the goal. Overall, a really good game. I didn't see too much wrong. Maybe his passing could have been better in a couple of occasions in the first half. But apart from that,
Mm.
probably our best midfielder today. And that's not easy to do when you have Cruz on your team.
100%. Kroos was off it. I mean, brilliant delivery for the set piece, for birthday boy Chouameni's goal. But yeah, in general, Tony Kroos's diagonals weren't there today. Tony Kroos's general passing was off. I was very surprised because this man, he barely gets a pass wrong. Today he had multiple occasions where some of his thought processes were completely telegraphed. Really, but yeah, Fran Garcia, Jacob, I was impressed. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, occasionally you get some of these games. I feel like Marvin did get the handle on him in the first
Mm,
half. I think
yeah,
every time Marvin Park took him on, he actually better for pace, which is strange to
yeah.
see. I thought Fran Garcia was pretty much one of the fastest players in the league.
Do you know? You know why that happens? It's because Fran doesn't really think that he has to run back because he basically has to, I think, overexert himself to basically track back. That's why he doesn't look as fast enough. But you see, when he goes the other way, he beats man for pace every single time. I guess it's just going in reverse. He just, I don't think he has the
So his
technical
feet only
nous to.
work one side of the pitch. On the other side,
Yeah,
when going
yeah,
back, it doesn't
yeah,
work.
yeah. because that's the only way you can explain it, right? Because um, his acceleration and his pace would be constant, right?
Yeah.
The only time it works is going forward for a reason. Mm.
Yeah, I think in those occasions he just started his running way too late. Either he was caught up a bit too high in his
Yeah,
positioning, or he took
yeah.
the decision to actually sprint a bit later on. So it's just a matter of concentration, I believe, with him. Um, but yeah, overall decent game, man. Like if only he could in games like these, we're not gonna create a lot of chances, right? If our strike
Yeah.
partnership isn't really working out, so hopefully he can improve on his deliveries a lot more. That will really create a lot of danger for us.
He had a pretty good couple of crosses, even low crosses into the box where Rodrigo almost got on the end of it, but I think a deflection took it away. Something happened. I don't remember. Was it a foul? But there was a couple of neat deliveries which I really like. Fran executing today. But yeah, man, probably Las Palmas's high line also played a significant role in Fran having a good outing.
Man, but
Carlo
today,
even had the cheek. Go
in the
on.
first half, talking about the Las Palmas Highline, I feel like they played much deeper than they usually do, man. I think they were expecting the pace of Vinicius and Rodrigo, and I guess they pushed out a lot more in the second half, which is when we found a lot more
Yeah.
pace and the running.
Mm,
Um,
mm,
so yeah, it was that took me by surprise actually, because this is a team that likes to hold on to possession, hold a really high line, play very similarly to Barcelona, and
yeah.
but they kind of switched up the tactics. They learned from their mistakes in the first leg. I mean, when we met them on earlier in the season, so
Yeah.
kudos to them, and kudos to us as well for adjusting.
When I speak highline, it's in relative terms. Compared to other teams, when we go away to them, they are a bit more conservative, right? That's what I think. But also, when I say highline, it's because when you look at other teams, like maybe let's say who's your other people like Mallorca, or like
Man,
teams.
my Las Palmas are
Yeah,
eighth in the league, man. They're eighth in the league for a
I
reason.
know, I know, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're not
yeah,
Mallorca.
100%.
Yeah,
They're not Mallorca, but always in my memory, Las Palmas. I'm not the greatest follower of Las Palmas, but even in the last 10, maybe 6 7 years ago, they used to be the side who used to be playing proactive football, right? Like who never played on the back foot. But yeah, man. Talking about Fran Garcia again, Carlo even had the cheek to play him left winger towards the end of the game. So he was very happy with his performance. I feel like Fran Garcia. Um, let's talk about Rodiger. Wasn't happy. No way. I was happy. Him being beaten by Sandro fucking Ramirez. I couldn't believe my eyes.
2024.
He yeah, he just had a shoulder to shoulder um a jockey, or a contest where he came out on the back foot. He was second best in that duel, man. I couldn't believe it. And he basically played the ball off with such ease that I was shocked. I was shocked that Rudiger let it happen in the first place. I was shocked that the pass made it all the way through um to Javi Munoz, if I'm not mistaken. um but yeah, Nacho was decent in my opinion. Apart from that instance where he really looked like he didn't know what was happening. But Nacho, I think, was the better of the two centre backs. But yeah, man, Jacob, your thoughts on Rudiger and Nacho?
I don't know, man. I feel like both were a bit shaky. Maybe they could have done
Mm,
better. Maybe probably the whole team should have done better, because in the first half, Las Palmas really had like better chances than us to score. I would say, in my opinion, from their counterattacks. If only Marvin, had uh, found the ball better. There was an instance. There's been many instances where they've employed cutbacks, and luckily someone was there to mop it up. So not really a game for like the defense to really have fun about. Of course, Fran Garcia was the one defending, so he is gonna let a lot of crosses in. So
yeah.
they're not doing Rodiger and Nacho any favors, but Yeah, average game for them. I'm just happy, none of them scored any own goals. None of them had any horrendous mistakes onwards and upwards.
Carvajal, nothing special, neat and tidy.
It was the first half wasn't really neat and tidy. Man. Like I feel like he lost the ball a couple of times. He wasn't making the usual runs that he usually does. If you
We didn't
remember,
play down the right at all.
yeah, it was Rodrigo down the right hugging the touchline instead of Carvajal, like we usually see. Maybe it was
Mm,
because this guy Valverde wasn't playing, so Carvajal might
yeah,
be just sitting back. That really hurt us in
yeah,
defense, for sure.
yeah, 100%. So like we had to basically overload the left hand side, time and time again. And I was surprised that even Las Palmas couldn't do anything about it because Marvin was their only outlet. He had to we basically pinned him back. After that, couple of forays he had, in the first half. But yeah, man. Who else? Who else should we touch upon? Rodrigo, if you wanna, um, talk about him.
Yeah,
What did he do?
what did he do? I think he had an average game. His triples didn't really come off, but his movement was good. He tried to take his chances, but there are days when these dribbling sequences don't come off. I wish he had combined a bit more with the midfield, and maybe had some better luck in terms of like getting on the end of some crosses, because there were certainly some really nice ones put in. It's just that he didn't get into the end of those,
Mm.
especially the ones from Vinicius and Fran Garcia. I think there were one or two very good. If his positioning was better, maybe he would have gotten to the end of it. But yeah, man, like no complaints. I feel like this is one of those games where you can't really like blame one player for the whole team playing like shit. It is just motivation and how the teams are set up.
Rodrigo should have for me, like it pains me to really come on here and talk about an average Rodrigo performance, because whenever I tune in and Rodrigo's playing, like I expect him to be the difference, and when
So
he is not the difference maker, yeah.
I don't remember. Has
Go
he
on, Jay.
actually scored after the Super Copa or no?
No, I don't think so.
Not even against
Has
Atletico.
he? In the Copa, no, no.
Yeah,
He
I don't
came
think
off
so.
early. Remember, he was
Yeah.
one of the first ones to be subbed off. Um,
Oh man,
but yeah, yeah,
we need him to be on
it
top of
might
his
improve.
game, and like,
Yeah,
it's just that he had found that touch, before Vinicius was in the team. That
yeah,
killer instinct, and it's now missing.
yeah.
The Valles miss, I mean, the short straighted Valles was like the icing on the cake for me.
Yeah, like how can he miss that? Like there was probably a question. It might have been marginally offside, but man, when someone of Rodrigo's finishing clinicality is 1v1 with the keeper, we expect him to slot it either side. I just yeah. I'm telling you, man. Champions League games, if we might get one or two chances against top opposition, and if we go on to do stuff like that, like what Rodrigo did, it's peak. That's why I was pretty critical of our chances doing something special this season, because we can't have 3 or 4 games back to back filled with mediocrity. January is kind of too early to maybe start sliding aside. Like I mentioned before, we start the year slow, but come on, man, we have to wake up. And like you said, maybe Atleti might be the calling card. Um, who else? Brahim. Good, good lord. Where should I begin? Barely was interested to be involved. Team didn't really care to involve him as much. Was it down to the shape that we played? Sometimes a hybrid 4-3-3, sometimes a 4-1-2-1-2. I just really couldn't wrap my head around how poor Brahim was, because we have been all crying on for Brahim to be given the onus, especially given Jude's absence. Like even before the game, I was looking into the stats, and whenever Jude hasn't played and Brahim has started, like he has scored so many goals, like 4 or 5 very crucial goals, leading up to leading up to the visible dominance we have in the league table. Brahim is a huge contributor to that. So To see him play like that, I couldn't believe my eyes, man. Yeah,
What do you mean see him
thoughts on
play?
Brahim Jack.
I did not see him play. I don't see him on the pitch at
Yeah.
all. So
What happened? What happened? Was it just a mishap?
my take was so there are two reasons that I identified. One is the whole
Mm,
team. They just prefer to release Vinny or Rodrigo, try to exploit the spacing
yeah,
behind. They
yeah,
did not involve Brahim
yeah.
at all. That was a tactical thing. Even from like we did not even involve the midfield sometimes. Rudiger just chose to
Mm,
like half it up to Vinicius. It did work for a few times, to be fair.
yeah.
But yeah, that was probably one of the reasons. The other reason is probably like Vinny. So when Brahim was actually scoring in these games, when Jude and Rodrigo were all playing, Brahim used to take up that position on the left hand side, dribble inside, cut inside, be involved through the center. But then he would have someone to play off of, someone to play those 1-2s, and it seems like whenever the ball goes to Vinicius or Rodrigo, they seem to carry it themselves. And today, they just didn't get the chance to play 1-2s with him. Like the ball was taken off of them really soon. So probably like he was let down by some of his teammates. Some of the tactics wasn't set up for him to succeed, but he has to take some kind of onus. He needs to be try to. If he isn't involved so much, maybe he should drop deeper, or maybe he should hug the touchline.
But yeah, that's the most baffling thing because Brahim is someone who like I feel like he's some of those players where he if he doesn't get a touch for like 5 minutes straight, he's gonna basically come short and beg for the ball. Give the ball to Feed and Lemmy. Do something. I didn't even see that from Brahim today. Yeah. Uh, I think it's just an off day all around, like because it's so uncharacteristic of Brahim to have a game like this. He doesn't ghost games.
Yeah.
Like even in Milan, like when I used to watch him, when he has a poor game, it's because what he does doesn't come off. He
No,
never
man.
hides.
Okay, so that
Mm,
that is like certain phases of Brahim in Milan, but I
mm,
think there was a consistent 8 months after he got COVID where he was completely like this. I think it was him and Giroud up front, and
yeah,
Pauli had to actually take him off so many times because at maybe minute 60 because he was absolutely invisible. And today was just one of those games. Sometimes when he goes missing, he absolutely just goes missing.
I remember the COVID season as well, but I used to attribute it to just recovering, back from the illness and maybe not in being in top near fitness, but like I've never attributed Brahim with being
Yeah,
uninterested or
after he came to us, I've seen that so many times. Even when we badly have like
mm,
some time to actually take a touch in midfield, he is the one who actually drops deep, helps facilitate the play,
yeah,
the most proactive player.
yeah.
That's why he's the first guy off the bench, right? He brought that position onto himself. But today I just didn't see that, and I actually saw shades of him in Milan. That's what got into my mind.
Mm, yeah, I just hope games like this really takes takes the wind out of the momentum even us who are watching as fans have, right? Like because you want to feel good about yourself and about your team after a victory, and in reality you can't really. I feel like Farouk. I don't know why I feel like Farouk. I shouldn't be feeling like Farouk. Maybe him being physically present on the panel would make me
Yeah,
basically
I think that's it.
uh right, like make me flip my persona for a second to combat his overt negativity. But yeah, man, we should be looking at these games like one step closer to the title. I get it. I would take it every single day of the week if that's the case. But yeah, moment to moment, match to match in isolation, I'm not happy. um
But
yeah,
man,
go
I
on.
thought we could maybe discuss a bit about how every single major big team now are free in La Liga. Like probably like Girona, they don't have even the Champions League to fall back on. So they're gonna
Mm,
have a really good push in the second half of La Liga. They just don't
yeah,
have
yeah.
this as many games as us. Even Barcelona. So we should expect them to maybe step up their game. And I'm just worried, man. After all of those.
Yeah, 100%. That's a very valid point. That was the I was shocked because I've been following the Copa del Rey because I caught the Even last night's game against Atleti's game against who was it? Sevilla, right? Ramos had a. I believe it should have been a pen. Ramos scoring it was one of my dreams. It did happen. Um, the day before, Barcelona's game against Bilbao was an absolute cracker. Um, yeah, that was even the Girona loss, which completely blew me away. How Mallorca, basically took them to the cleaners. Yeah, man, stuff like this makes me wonder the same things you were just mentioning. These guys would be licking their lips at the prospect of having a bit of a breathing room between games and really giving their all. Yeah, it doesn't look great. Especially for us because we'll have two major competitions to focus on. Which is a great thing. It's Champions League. I'm not gonna lie, but we really have to not have lethargic performances like these. Coming especially back to back to back. But so some of the substitutes, Jacob, quickly. Who should we begin with?
Yeah,
People who changed the game. Fede Valverde
yeah. Fede,
for once.
Fede for once. I thought it might not really make sense, but having Fede on the
Mm,
pitch, just freed up Carvajal way more to attack more, and Rodrigo could move a bit more inside. Joselu, when he came on, he just completely changed the look of our offense. Things just started flowing easier, right? I did not expect those to happen so soon. Even before the goal, we had a really a good couple of chances. The Vinny could have maybe done better, or Joselu could have done better. But yeah,
yeah. Joselu, when he comes on, you know what you're gonna get, right? Like he's gonna completely occupy that the opposition defenders' minds and basically give our wide men some leeway, and that's what happened. Um, Joselu's header, like I would have preferred it to be much more accurate. Do you remember the outside of the foot Ravella
yes,
pass from Vinny was pretty decent stuff. And I would have liked for him to have a scoring touch, but Joselu's Joselu. Um, Chouameni, apart from the goal, I'm not sure what he did exactly in midfield, to help his cause. But Carlo, being a very thoughtful godfather, giving him some
yeah,
minutes off the bench on his birthday, and yeah, the stars aligned. Brilliant header as well. He had
absolutely.
a late run, to latch onto the cross. Um, he wasn't static. He knew what he was doing. It was brilliantly placed as well. Some of the stats that I read, of ESPN, that is, um, we have the most goals from corners this season. I couldn't
Really?
fucking believe my
Us?
eyes. Yeah.
Us?
Yes.
No way.
Yes. Like, was it 5 or 6? I don't remember. Most corners, comebacks, obviously first. Most second half wins. We'll be a second, I think, behind only Barcelona, maybe. Um, but yeah, most goals from corners. That's something that has been a stark contrast from last year. Um, if you remember, like we used to always cry out for us to be a little more lethal from set pieces. And Jacob, do you think we have turned a corner in that regard?
Yeah, I mean the stats don't lie, right? If I
Yeah.
wouldn't have guessed so, because it's just that
Mm.
the deliveries into the box, especially for me, have been very lacking this season. I feel like
Yeah,
if the
100%.
deliveries are decent, like the players are getting on top of it, are actually
Mm.
Rudiger's looking dangerous. Joselu, whenever he
Yeah.
gets it, he looks dangerous. But yeah, that's surprising to me, and
Tony
hoping
Cruz's
for
deliveries has been hit and miss, but although this game, like remember the two couple of
yeah,
free
Rudiger
kicks
as
he
well.
had at the first half? Yeah, was pretty good. Even the one right on the edge of their box. Remember,
Yeah,
near to their corner flag. It was a pretty decent delivery. But yeah, like for me at least, right? Like growing up with Zidane's double peach side, where basically we had an assurance. We have a set piece. There you go. Ramos or Pepe or Varane or Cristiano is gonna or Casemiro is gonna get on the end of it, and it's a sure shot finish. just waiting to happen. But now we don't really get that, do we? But yeah, the stats, I was surprised. Not gonna lie. Um, a few of the comments before we talk further. Um, Ashik was mentioning earlier that pass by Kama was just daft. What a beauty, 100%. The way he was basically on the move, out of balance. Yeah, pretty spectacular pass from Kamavinga. Um, that guy King, big up that guy King was mentioning. I want Chabi now. Probably watching that drive, made him a bit more uh, you know, cumbersome. I hope you don't read much into tonight's game, man. Like what Jacob is saying, you should listen to Jacob much more on days like this. Even on good days, maybe you should listen to the other guys because I'm too extreme. I'm either too positive or too negative. I don't have a middle ground. Um, Barca are behind.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yep.
At home?
At
Okay,
home.
okay. Yeah, at home
Yeah.
against Villarreal.
Gerard
Is
Moreno.
it still the same?
It's
Is it still
it's
1?
it's half time, and Moreno
Okay.
scored in the
I have to
41st
watch
minute.
the I have to watch the second half.
Yeah.
To watch the second half. Um that guy King was mentioning now Klopp will ruin this midfield. Oh, okay. Talks about Klopp. I'm not a fan, man. Not gonna lie. He just has one way and that's the highway. If that doesn't work, Klopp really looks out of his depth, every time that I watch him. No, not a fan. Ashik was mentioning Hossolu's contribution may not show up on stats sheet, but he makes a difference and allows our wingers more space. 100%. Iraq Taim says hi. Big up Iraq Taim. A couple of Ancelotti's quotes. Thanks, Jacob. He was mentioning if 8 comebacks this season, this means we have good and motivated bench players who always help us. I look at the bench and see many options to change the game.
Okay. Damn.
Well, I hope Arda Guler is reading this. Talk about Arda Guler, Jacob. He should have probably scored. He should have maybe set up that assist for Fran Garcia, where the weight of the pass was a bit too much, and it kind of ran away from him. But in general, Arda looked bright.
Yeah, man. He came on. He had lots of energy. He was chasing the ball, trying to do something on the pitch. It's his debut,
Mm,
and it was
mm.
important to him. You could see that he got nervous during the bit, or maybe a bit too excited. So probably like when he comes down, has a couple of games under his belt, we'll see the true
Yeah.
Arda Güler. I feel like he is a very composed player, and from all his training videos, he has an eye for the spectacular as well.
Did you see the pass to Hosselu? Oh my goodness, he just is
Something
so
something out
uber
of
cool.
Ozil's handbook, yeah.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. It's just the weight of the pass, the way he um, glides. Like, yeah, Arda Güler is just very pleasing to watch, and there's a real player there. And it's games like these, or games like against opposition where we really haven't had a comfortable outing. Where we are comfortably winning a game, maybe since the international break in November, where we were winning 5-0 or something against Valencia, right? Like, have we had a comfortable game where we could, throw in a guy like Arda Güler at the deep end, right? We haven't.
Maybe those games against who was it? Braga. So that's the only game that I was really comfortable.
But he wasn't really fit back then, remember? Like, he
Yeah, yeah.
wasn't this fit. He was, getting back to fitness, but he wasn't this. But yeah, like I'm pretty sure Carlo knows what he's doing, and one thing that I hope he doesn't know what he's doing is about Luka Modric. I would like to reiterate my concerns regarding how he's snubbed entirely.
And
They
Ancelotti
don't
had a
even
quote.
ask him to warm up. Hmm,
So
really?
Ancelotti, yeah, I just pasted it in the chat. So Ancelotti said, Luka Modric, I respect him. I don't want him to warm up if I'm not sure that he will play. I respect him a lot, and he's fine and will be ready for the next game. So basically, he just didn't want Luka to go out to warm up for no reason because he wasn't sure that Luka was needed for this game. I feel like this was a game that Luka should have probably started, obviously, instead of Ceballos. We really could have used him, but if it was the
I
rest
don't
thing,
get it, man. Honestly,
if it was just for rest,
I
I feel like maybe we didn't really need him to come on.
I think the club is basically pushing the narrative to
That
um
he's a 38-year-old
give
old man.
no to give Ceballos minutes so he can be sold for 20 odd million.
Come on, man. Like, I don't think we care about 20 million. That's chump change for us.
But it's basically balancing the books, getting a player out with not it's not big wages, but you know Ceballos is basically dead wood, man. It's fucking dead wood. So I think the club is basically trying to get something for
Man,
him because
Ceballos'
they know.
contract runs
Mm,
out soon, right?
yeah,
We're not extending
next
him.
year, right?
Yeah,
Next year,
next year. Yeah. So
next year,
I
not
don't
this
think
year.
he's deadwood. And to be honest, like if we already know the player that Ceballos is, he is someone who we have the option of bringing on, who won't be horrendous, who won't like lose us matches, but he's not gonna win us a lot of matches either, or like any match at all. So just to give our midfield a bit of rest, maybe he can be brought on in some of these games. I feel like if we
If Mo
temper
was
our
here,
expectations, yeah, Ceballos
mm,
is fine, man.
if Mo was here, he would be fighting with you and me, claiming that he there is a player there, right? Like
Yeah, I
he's more
mean,
techy.
he's different from all the midfielders that we have, especially the
Mm,
youngsters.
yeah,
I don't see a
so but
profile
he's a
similar to him.
bit more. He has a bit more. You know, he's a bit more savvy on the ball. That's the only thing, man. Apart from that, like, what is there in Ceballos that
His
our
vision,
other
like
midfielders lack?
I feel like his passing in the final third is probably better than Kamavinga, at least Kamavinga and maybe Valverde as well. Chow is probably better than him though. That's the only thing place where he excels. Resistance,
I
no.
hope you're right because
Decision making, no.
I haven't seen much evidence of anything. Ceballos is the best thing that ever happened to this club. If I lived in the twilight zone, bigger bashing. Yeah. Luka Modric, please, Carlo. Like we get it, we get it. He might not be, doing his best, doing his name any good in trainings. They really would be looking into it and seeing stuff like a drop in performance, drop in um endurance levels and whatnot. So they know what they're talking about. I'll ask Francesco as well what's happening with Luca. I'm pretty sure he's not gonna give me an answer. But still, man, like I really want
What the hell?
Luca to have a significant say. In the later half of the season. What were you saying, Jacob?
I was just reading something by Marca about David
What did they
Ancelotti.
say?
So
Created a booklet which he has data on set pieces and is using that to hurt opponents to limit his last 12 points in the league has his handwriting.
they'll write
That's
anything, man, for if it matches the agenda.
that's pretty sensationalist, writing. But I'm pretty sure, man, these guys have been doing their homeworks because there is a reason why we have been um,
Fuck, man, like
a
where's the
bit more
homework
lethal.
when it comes to actually defending set pieces? What the hell?
Yeah, defending set pieces
It's not part of the
is
handbook, yeah.
really maybe you know defensively, especially from set pieces, like we have been having this issue for God knows how long. I think it's also down to personnel as well. Alaba isn't great in the air. Nacho, would you say he would win every 50-50 aerial duel? I don't think so. Only guy who has an assurance, and that is pretty recent, is Rudiger, right? So even Militao has lapses where basically he doesn't know what's behind him, and I've seen that on so many occasions. And Mendy, is another example. Carvajal, I can vouch for. Even if he's only 5'9", he can um, give give anyone in a aerial duel a run for their money. But yeah, man. Who else did we miss out on from the subs? We talked about Chomeni. We talked about Arda Guler.
Mendy came on as well. I mean, he didn't have enough
Mendy
time.
came on. Silly yellow backed into him for no reason, and he was basically had the cheat to ask the ref, "What did I do?" But Yeah, man, big up Mendy. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Who was the man of the match? Quickly.
Yeah, I mean, same as you, Kamavinga, I guess. If not, man, I just don't see anyone else. Maybe someone of the subs who came on, Joselu, he actually changed the game for me. So my second pick would be Joselu.
Arcelo. Would be a very weak choice though. He didn't really like.
It's just a
He
tactical
had
choice,
all
right?
the good.
It's not the
Yeah,
fact that Joselu played well.
yeah,
It's just that having a striker actually made a difference.
yeah. He didn't really influence it himself, right? It was just a domino effect of him just being, on the pitch. Ashik was mentioning that's okay. In a few months, our front line will be Vinny Rodrigo, Endrick, Brahim, Goller, and wait for it, Mbappe. Meanwhile, our defense will be at the therapists.
Oh, yeah.
Ashik was mentioning, don't forget Lonan. He's definitely a candidate for man of the match. Made some crucial saves, 100%. Yeah, I really like what Lonan brings to the table, man. But we know how it's gonna be. Kepa's gonna start some random game 2 weeks from now.
What do you mean 2 weeks from? I
I
think
think Kepa's gonna start on,
the Getafe game. Yeah, yeah.
and Lonan will be back against Atleti. This is gonna be a huge problem. I'm telling you, people are gonna come for Carlos' throats, especially in the Champions League if something happens, on the back of this. But yeah, man, big up every single one of you in the chat. Big up our audio listeners as well. We didn't do the ad read, right? Do we want to play it now, Jacob? Or
Yeah, sure. I guess before we wind up, we'll just play the ad. So, guys, we have a message from Mo. Do tune in if you like what you hear. Maybe consider chipping in and supporting the pod. Mo, take it away.
big up more?
Ever since we started this podcast, we've had people reach out to us and ask us, about how you guys can support us, how you guys can help us out in this mission that we have, that is to spread the good word about Real Madrid all around the world. So I guess this is an opportunity for us. This is a great opportunity for us, and this is an opportunity for you guys to help us out. So we're partnering with manscaped.com, and they're going to be our sponsors for the foreseeable future, as long as you guys pitch in and buy their products and help us out. So without further ado, this is like our first ever ad read we're doing on this podcast. So let me just read out everything that Manscaped sent to us, and I hope you guys will support us. So, roses are red, violets are blue, trim your balls and your date will love us too. What's up, fellas? So for Valentine's Day, Manscaped has partnered with us to bring a special offer to you guys. And what is the prescription from Manscaped? It is the all-new Performance Package 5.0 Ultra, designed to elevate your grooming game and shine like the heartthrob that you are. So let me just show you guys everything that is in this package right here. So Manscaped.com is a brand that is trusted by over 10 million men worldwide. When you're talking about Manscaped, you guys can be sure that it's all about quality. And right now, partnering with us, you can get this quality with a 20% discount and free shipping if you use our code, which is LBR20. It is written down on the screen that you guys can see. If you go to manscaped.com/LBR20 and use this code, you'll get a 20% discount and free shipping. So what's special about this Valentine's Day? I'm sure you guys have plans. You guys have special plans, and to get ready for those special plans, you probably need to be groomed right. So while grooming, you probably don't want to get cut in areas you don't want to get cut, don't want to get nicked in areas you don't want to get nicked. So for that, I think Valentine's Day, Manscaped.com has a very special product for you. It's called the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. So what is it? Let me just show it to you guys. So this is the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. It is designed to help you guys groom yourself without getting hurt and everything. So what does Manscaped say about this? Like, the special feature for this is like it has skin safe technology, which guards your V-Day treasures, Valentine's Day treasures, against any grooming mishaps, like we talked about. Don't want to get nicked, right? Don't want to get nicked. It also comes with the brightest LED spotlight yet. It's brighter than your best romantic smile. Perfect for precise grooming, even in the trickiest spots. Oh, it's waterproof too, so you can use it in the shower, without damaging the equipment. But hey, that's not all. This thing also comes with a Weed Whacker 2.0. It's a special product for your nose. You don't want nose hair sticking out of your nares on your special day. But that's not all. They also have Manscaped's liquid formulation that is special for this, and two free goodies: the Shed Travel Bag and Boxes 2.0, because comfort is king for all my followers. And for a happy ending, there's a Manscaped Refined Cologne. It's a Valentine's Day touch for your grooming routine. Elevate your grooming routine and set the stage for a romantically smooth celebration. And for bearded people, people like me who have beards, right now I've shaved, so you probably can't see it. But you have Manscaped brings you the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. Right now it's not with me, but it is designed to shape your scruff effortlessly. It sculpts your cheek lines and maintains your beard styles, giving you that suave look for your romantic moments. Seamlessly handling even the thickest of beards, it's the perfect tool for a polished, date-ready appearance. So, get 20% off and free shipping with the code LBR20 at manscaped.com. That's right, 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com, and use the code LBR20 because grooming upgrade awaits, ready to charm your Valentine's dates.
Yep, we're back.
Big up Mo, man. Big up Bo, for the ad read. Big up Manscape as well. You heard the man. LBI20 for 20% off on any Manscaped products, man, with free shipping as well. It ships worldwide. I think apart from maybe India, and South Asia, like I think it ships everywhere in the North America and Europe, even in the Middle East as well. So yeah, man, big up our partners on Manscaped. Big up Mo as well. Very entertaining ad read. He just cuts to show. This is not the first time he's doing this. Mo has some expertise in this regard. Yeah, man. But yeah, I think it's slowly. We can wrap this up. Big up. Ashiki was saying, skin safe tech. Good my good my manhood are safe, right? Then right. Big up Ashik, man. Big up Ashik. Um, Yeah, big up our partners on Instagram as well. Real Madrid Committee OGs, go check them out. They run a brilliant Real Madrid fan page. The link is in the description below. Big up our audio listeners, who always never fail to send in good feedback, bad feedback. How uh, basically they tell us like how we accompany them on on gym routines, on morning walks, on night drives, all of that. It's super humbling to listen to, and you guys are very well the reason why we are doing this, why we are here. Um, and yeah, pick up the chat as well. The very reason why we do this is because this is a two-way street, and we have a conversation before games, after games. And yeah, boys, keep your eyes peeled on content from the Bernabeu as well. Our team hopefully will be in Getafe at the Alfonso at the Colosseum Alfonso Di Perez. I forgot the name, but against Getafe, like hopefully we'll be on site. Said we'll be bringing in fan cams as well. So if you like the stuff from Madrid as well, share it among your fellow friends. Yeah, smash the likes as well, man. It's super important to smash the likes and yeah, support the cause, because the more likes, it helps with the algo so much more. And yeah, people, hopefully this is kind of a bad day in the office where the result really didn't get tainted, but we take the 3 points and move. Hopefully against Getafe, we kind of really warm up for the derby, which is going to be a big one. Very pivotal. Like it might look like Atleti are where, fifth, right? Fifth or fourth in the table, Jacob?
Fourth, yeah.
Fourth in the table, and we are first. There's a significant gap, especially in the point tally. It might look that way, but still, it can have a big say in how our season is going to pan out. So hopefully, on to better days. And yeah, Ashik is in the chat. He was mentioning Villarreal 2-0. Big up Villarreal, man. Yellow Submarine sinking the Blaugranas at their own turf. Good to hear. I wonder
Do you
where
think
halfway
Xavi is
this.
gonna get the axe very soon?
I don't know. The pressure is kind of mounting because there's one section of the fan base who believe that Xavi should be given time, who firmly believe that without Xavi, Barcelona really wouldn't be doing anything that what they've been doing over the past couple of years. But there's one section of the fan base who thinks that given the quality of the players they have, they should be doing so much more better. Especially the youngsters, they should be really playing so much more better than some of the decisions, like blindly trusting Lewandowski hasn't gone down well. 2-1, yeah. Yeah, that's the reason why I don't get too happy about stuff like this. We have to,
La Liga teams, man, I don't understand. Like when they have so
Yeah.
many good leads against Barca. Fuck, I guess even against us, they're
Yeah.
always so close.
They just
but
crumble, right?
Still so far away.
Yeah. They crumble pretty quick against Premier League sides. I think just the Spanish way, man, where people don't really sit back. They want to hit one more, right? Like nobody's gonna take the foot off the gas, when they tune up in Spain. But yeah, boys, big up every single one of you again. Big up our partners Manscaped as well. LBR20 for 20% off and free shipping. So yeah, boys, help us out. If you want to buy gifts for your loved ones, this is a perfect excuse. Valentine's Day and whatnot is around the corner. So yeah, people, until next time. A la Madrid.
Hola, Madrid.